50 class recap here is going to be brought to you by our friends at JT Cycle, Battle Creek, Michigan dealership there. Make sure to check them out for all of your Husky, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and gas needs. They also have lawn equipment from Echo Gravely. Shit. I'm blanking
all kinds
here.
of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. They got a whole bunch of stuff.
Echo,
so if you're
Gravely,
in
Aaron.
the Kalamazoo, Battle Creek-ish area in Michigan, make sure to check them out. JT Cycle, link in the description down below. You can check them out on Instagram at JT Cycle BC. I don't have all the reads. I'm way underprepared for this. We've been going for the last 3 weeks since we recorded the other thing, cutting content for you guys all over the place. So anyway, all right. Well, Eli Tomac finally gets it done.
10 years.
10 tries, and he finally gets an A1 win.
Almost didn't, though.
Okay, you guys ready for this? Everybody in this class is fucked.
I was actually... So, okay.
Has there ever been a perfect season in Supercross?
No, Stu was the only
Okay,
one that
well, we
came
might
close.
see it right
All
here.
right, so-
You're higher than a kite.
Get the
All
fuck
right,
out
so,
of here.
So tell me if you guys agree with this, because we always... And I was thinking about this. We always talk about A1, like, first race of the year, nobody really knows where their chassis set up. You don't know what the dirt's going to be like. We know that it rained. And we always say, well, you can't... It's an overused phrase, but you can't win the championship at A1, but you can lose it. But we also talk about, like, the years that Barsha won. We kind of knew that, Barsha won, okay, maybe he'll back it up. But we know at some point he's going to have a bonehead move. There are guys that if they win A1, we don't really play much into it. But I was thinking about this yesterday during practice, and there were 3 guys that came to mind that if they would have won A1, you could say it was a big deal. One was Chase Sexton. That means he followed up what he did in outdoors. He learned from his mistakes. He learned from battling the gnarliest battle we've seen since the Stu and Ricky days. Anderson, which would have reaffirmed everything we thought about him. And then there would have been Eli Tomac. Those were the 3 guys that if they would have came out and won A1 and go, okay, you can back that up that this is a big deal. Agree or not?
100%.
I agree with
Okay.
that. Yep.
Eli winning last night and in the fashion that he did, I'm not going to go so far as to say perfect season, but I will say these boys are in trouble right
He
now.
fucking crashed and still won.
I know.
He fucking crashed.
Which
and
is not a surprise
still won.
because he's done that before, so it's not like, holy shit. But him winning last night on that bike, any thought that bike was going to be an issue, and it's kind of like he said it, as soft as it was, well, now I know the bike will fucking work on the East Coast.
Yeah, he answered all those questions.
Like, trust me.
And that bike is a fucking rocket ship.
I am with you that I don't read into...
Kenny winning
mostly,
last year.
Yeah, I don't read into mostly anybody else's result from last night very heavy
There
for
are a
how the
few-
year's going to go.
There are a few that I do, but
There's a couple things, and we'll get to them here as we go through it. But Tomac winning and crashing and still fucking winning. And have you seen the pictures that Cuddy?
Cudby.
it looked like he was doing some Tony Hawk Pro Skater shit.
Dude, he was trying to fucking hand plant on top of the tunnel. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane. Like, you can literally see, like, what are you going to do, Eli? You going to push yourself back up off the
I
lip?
hate,
and
I
just
hate
like,
when they do those tunnel jumps, though, literally right out of corners, because you're still leaning in going up the
yeah,
face.
which is what happened. And
I mean,
there's
how many dudes by the end of the night had to roll that thing? 'Cause
Yeah.
They were still leaning in, and they were going to do the exact same thing.
Davey has a video of Eli showing the team, like, what he hit in the lip there to make him crash after the race. So, dude, I know we...
That bike turns
I
on a
know.
dime.
I was going to say, I know we all get carried away, but, like, man, dude, that was
That's a statement.
impressive.
That's a statement.
For a guy that doesn't start series strong.
Yeah, like I said in the preview show, if anybody can figure that bike out, it's Star Yamaha. And it clearly looks like they did, and his teammate was right up there, too.
Oh, we'll talk
Dylan
about
was.
him.
Dylan
That bike. I don't think they're going to have an issue with that bike. I think
I
they're going
don't
to pick
think
up
so
right where
either.
they left off. And it's a scary thought, and we talked about this. His starts were as good as best they've ever been in his
Dude,
entire career.
all day.
Starts. He got both practice starts. Once again, practice starts, but we know that they put a little bit into that. Both practice starts, heat race start, main start.
Yeah.
Dude, if you're going to tell me that Eli's going to yank holies all night long, it's going to be a long fucking year for these boys.
So here's my only thing I will say about this. The only thing I will say, I guess, somewhat negative about Eli's win. Do you guys think that the rest of the field changed up their training program a little bit because they are coming into Supercross, now they have motocross to worry about, and now super motocross? I personally believe a lot of those guys got tired toward the end of the main event and that their fitness is not where it needs to be. Whereas Eli, he knows he's doing just Supercross. He's ready to rock and roll right fucking now.
There were 3 dudes, in my opinion, last night that dropped anchor. Or either dropped anchor or pumped up. And we'll get to it. But I don't know if I would... contribute that to the fact of the whole, we're doing outdoors and Supercross, but you could definitely tell there were dudes that didn't put in as much work as you would have thought they would have.
Yep, and we'll get to some of those because I have some disappointments. But moving on next, and this is
You already know this one.
Holy shit! No, fuck, I did not see that shit coming.
well,
Is he back?
they fixed the bike since Paris.
Yeah, well, because he told the
Cooper Webb
hey,
gets second,
tell him hey guys, my bike sucked.
and he
Listen,
Came
he answered
through.
a lot of questions too.
That's
He
another
did.
guy that if you would have told me he would do anything, but if you would have told me he was going to do that, because this wasn't like last year when he got a second place.
no, and I'm not reading into this one the same way I'm reading into the Tomac finish. It looked good. And the bike looks better. So that's a big thing.
All those, the KTMs and the Huskies looked good all day in my opinion.
Yeah.
All of them.
AP,
Even Barca's gas.
dude.
We'll talk about him.
Yeah.
The way he did what he did, because last year we know he got a little bit of help with what happened with Marvin Mookie.
Yep.
We knew he had a little bit of help with Sexton going down last year when he got a second. This second place he got no help. Mm-hmm. Like him and Dylan, I didn't realize this because I went back and rewatched the race.
They were
before
like
I came
8th and
here.
9th and followed each other.
Dylan was 14th. Coop was 2 spots ahead of him.
Yeah. Yeah, they came through.
With 2 minutes to go, they were 7 seconds back of Sexton. Mm-hmm. With 2 minutes and a lap to go. Mm-hmm. And Webb said it. He's like, hey, man, like when Eli got up, I was right behind him. I'd have had nothing for him. So I'm not saying I would have won that had I got a start. But, dude, that was some...
No, did you notice what he said in the press conference about it?
No, I didn't.
That
No,
he tried to fluster Eli and it didn't work.
Yeah,
I've seen
which I
that.
I don't know.
He did poke his front end in there.
He
Which
did,
I don't know why
yeah.
he would think that would work. Like, I don't...
Because he's
that's
Webb,
him.
and that's
That's
what
what
he
he does.
tries to do.
Yeah, but he should know that's not going to work on
Which is
Eli.
an interesting thing to think about because, okay, you look at it like how Webb has Kenny's number per se, late in the race. It's like, okay, so he tries this, it doesn't work. So now he has to go back to the drawing board, but does he have something else other than trying to fluster these guys? Because speed for speed, obviously, I think
I mean,
all
he
three.
did it to Kenny. He stuck his nose in on Kenny on the inside.
So I went back
but
and looked.
I'm just saying, like, he now knows that trying to fluster Eli isn't going to work.
So I went back and looked into lap time. So Eli had the fastest lap time of the night. Malcolm
Yes.
was second, I'm pretty sure. Or no, was it Kenny?
Hold on.
So like Dylan
No,
was
Kenny was second.
Kenny,
Yep.
and then Dylan was third, right? But Coop had like
Yep.
the 5th fastest lap time or something.
Yeah, it's like.
But that's the thing though. It was like him, Kenny, Malcolm.
Actually, AP
was in there.
No,
Hey,
so,
look at. Can you see segment times on there?
No, I only have
AC
best
had
lap.
the fastest segment time by a half second first segment.
So it's
out of everyone.
It's Eli, Ken,
Should be Dylan.
AP,
Then Dylan.
then Dylan, then then Webb, then Chase.
So, but that's the thing though. Webb kind of did what Webb did when he won both of his titles. Like he was okay in practice, like 6th or 7th. Just an average heat race.
Yeah, when I was watching that, I was like,
And then when you get towards the end of the main, he's just fucking there.
Yep.
Now, I do, and I said this in the previous show, I don't think his speed is good enough to beat some of these guys outright, especially when Eli rides like that.
never has been.
But, dude, if Webb, and it's going to take a few rounds, but if Webb is indeed back to what we thought Webb was in 2021 and 2019, or even 2020 until he got hurt, he's just going to be there. He's just going to be there at these end of these races, and he's going to make these guys be perfect.
Yep.
Because he's not going to make mistakes at the end of the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, he answered a lot of questions about the bike. Everybody was kind of shitting on it, and KTM, they put their head down, and they did their fucking job, because it looks like those bikes are fixed. Even RJ in the 250 class. But,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bikes look solid in the whoops. I know that they weren't deep and they weren't tall, but he still got through the whoops fine.
Yeah, and Webb, like we both just mentioned, that wasn't a second place like last year.
No.
He methodically worked his way
Yep.
through like he does, and no, I think he's back. I don't think that was a fluke.
Did you also notice how, though, and it was also line selection because some of those ruts on the inside they were getting so deep. They
Oh
were
yeah,
hitting the
this
pegs.
was my point that I was.
But he
trying
was
to go
he
through.
was using a lot more. I mean, he passed Chase on the outside. He was using a lot more out, which we know Coop. He can turn down harder than anybody.
Well, speaking of turning down, I wanted to make that point as well. Like the bike being fixed is Coop being able to turn down in those corners. He wasn't able to do that last year. He would try to do that. The back end would squirt out, or the front end would push, or whatever. But he was doing it last night, and it was It looked like the coupe of old, even though it's a new chassis, blah, blah, blah. But, no, I liked what I saw.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to have any issues with that bike.
I don't think so either.
I think that bike it's whatever they did fixed it, and it's not last year's bike.
No.
Yeah, so, yeah, KTM. Doubt you're ever going to listen to this, or anybody from KTM's ever going to listen to this.
Everybody listens to this.
You're right. We
actually are.
everybody out there that listens to this shit, KTM, good fucking job.
The whole Austrian brand. Because even Barsha's bike looked fine. I mean,
Yeah.
for Barsha, like, it looked good. The Huskies look good. All the KTMs look good. The Austrian brand, like, whatever they did in the offseason, they fixed their
did it.
shit.
Yep.
So, I mean, good to them because they
Yeah.
had a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Give them a happy clap.
Ah.
Happy clap.
Wait, hold on.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. Next up, we got Chase Sexton gets third.
I think he got tired.
Did Chase Sexton pull a Chase Sexton? Dude, he fucked up that rhythm section 4 times last night.
I know. And the one time we do know that, like I said, he said that it pulled his shifter into third, and he didn't realize it was third, so he had no lift off the first one, and then it just
Well, how do you not realize your bike's in third?
I have
you
no
got earplugs
idea.
in, probably.
A lot of
Probably.
them do wear
Yeah.
earplugs these days.
Yeah, I
Because
would
he
be
said
too.
he
Why I'm deaf.
he said when he came off that quad before, because it was that long rhythm section, right? There was like 3-3-3-3-3 or something. He said when he came off that when he landed in the rut, it must have bumped it into third because he hit that first lip and he had no lift off of it because the bike was just lugging.
Okay, well, that's once, but you can't explain the
I
other
know
4 times.
the other ones. It's like, what did you do? So I don't know, man. I mean, he didn't lose the title. He looked good. I mean, I really thought he was going to win that race at a lot of points last night. So
I mean, if Eli wouldn't have closed the gap on him, I thought he was going to win. And then when you see Eli, I just didn't think that Coop and Dylan would catch him the way that they did.
either.
Oh, I was watching it 7 minutes ago. I'm like, I was sitting next to my buddies watching the race. I'm like, there's Dylan. He's in the shot. And then the next lap, oh, damn, here's Webb. They're both fucking freight training.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, he didn't lose the title last night, but he pulled a Sexton. I
think he tightened up and got tired, man.
That's what he said. Is when he
I mean,
made
dude,
the
also
first
too,
mistake, it
when-
did that too.
When
But
you have a rhythm section that's right out of a ruddy right or left-handed 180 and then a 3 quad, whatever you want to call it, into the corner, but then a 3-3-3-3 section to do that every lap and your
Is
mind
a
not to wander.
lot.
That's a lot of. It's not maybe not be physically, but mentally, that's a lot for 20 minutes.
because just so everybody knows, because I have this information now, those jumps are 20 to 25 feet apart, which means you're going 60 to 75 feet, however many times in a row there. And I don't know about you guys, I don't jump that far that many times in a row.
Just
I do
people-
it once.
That's the thing. People just want to talk about the physical aspect of it, but just mentally, when you got to do that
Yeah.
for 20 plus 1, your mind can't wander at all because if you 1 second, your just reaction is off a little bit.
Yep.
You've either hit the deck or you've blown the whole section. So, I mean, dude, the track was tough last night. I mean, that was talked about a lot, but
Yeah, the track looked fucked.
I mean, it could have been a lot. But yeah, I don't. Like I said, I agree. He didn't lose the championship last night, but Sexton, old Sexton showed himself a few different times.
It
last
was
night.
like a
He's
smoking
going to take
gun.
that personally.
He should take it personally.
He should.
He really fucking should. There's no reason he should have got third.
Hey, one
last
thing
night.
that was kind of cool, and I'll probably mention it again in my shit kits and lit kits.
Oh boy, here
segment.
we go.
I thought the gear looked good. The red Jordan gear was,
there was a
pretty
couple.
sick.
There was a couple other people rocking that gear.
Yeah, there was.
But none of them did what Sexton did. You notice in the main event, he had the away jersey on.
Oh,
He was rocking red all night,
He
and then
also
the main
doesn't-
dropped and it was white.
He also doesn't have blonde tips like a SoCal turd.
Anyway.
he's got the black hair going again.
Moving on
He
from
didn't
Chase
sell out
here.
to the Moto
Oh boy,
Illuminati.
here we go.
The Moto Illuminati.
Yeah, tinfoil.
Tinfoil. All right, moving on. So Dylan gets fourth from
He
a
would've
shit
had- if
start
he'd-
again.
if
Here
he'd
we
had
go.
a- if
All
he'd
right,
had
here
a-
we go.
right
Hey,
back
to our videos.
Quiet.
If he'd
Go
have had
ahead.
another lap though, he'd have got Sexton.
Oh boy.
The
You-
boys fired up.
you
That's
don't
why I said
agree?
quiet.
There we go.
You don't agree?
Maybe. This just caters back, right, to
I
what we
think
talk
he got-
about with him
yeah,
all the time.
whatever,
I
he
mean,
got
yes,
second.
probably he would have, but it just caters back to what we talk about all the time. He can't get off the fucking gate for some reason.
His heat race says otherwise. He got second off the line, dude.
I'm
He
gonna
was
call
second.
him Dylan LaRocco.
Okay.
Dylan, that was good.
That was a good ride, but
No, it was good. It was good.
Look, man, all I got to say is if you're going to give other people credit, you got to give Dylan credit for that one because same thing. Him and Coop battle all the way through. And I didn't even realize that when Coop passed him at some point, I don't know if it was like 10 minutes in, I didn't realize because we didn't see it. He passed Coop back and was actually starting to gap him when they were working their way through. Yeah, dude, that just looked different. His start was terrible in the main. Start was good in the heat race. That looked like a more in-control Dylan than I think I've ever seen before.
Well, however, I would like to point out that Dylan has had this same type of ride within the first 2 rounds ever since he turned
Not last
into
year,
the
though.
450 class.
Not
He said
last
this
year,
is
though.
his best season opening round ever.
Well, yeah, look what he did last year. He was in like 7th, and then he went
Yeah.
down and got 16th.
Well, then
Yeah.
round 2, he got
14th.
3rd or whatever the fuck. And
So
then-
here's the thing. If he comes out and he gets 4th at round 1 and then he gets on the box and he can just keep building, this is the best he's going to have, like, points-wise since he's been in the class. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
whatever. He needs to just finish the season like a lot of the other guys.
Yep.
I mean, dude, if he can keep this... look, he ain't getting a title. I'm not doing that. He's not getting a title.
That's amazing. That's
But-
a first. Let's mark that in the book.
If he comes out and he can back it up in Oakland, he's gonna be there at the end of the year.
Full-blown mutter, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. But,
right.
no, he rode great.
All right, moving on. Kickstart Kenny, 5th.
Faded like a cheap suit, did Kenny
Was
things.
it bike stuff? Any
No,
chance it was bike
I
stuff?
don't think so.
I think so.
What do you think was wrong with it?
He said he rode that bike stuck with the same setup of when he started riding it. There's no development on that thing.
Yeah.
0.
That's because he hasn't had time.
All right,
he signed,
so-
he signed
That's my
too
thing.
late,
So
so
fifth on basically no development, no
Yeah,
nothing.
so
I
if
think
they-
that's pretty respectful,
See, this-
man.
if
See,
they
this is what's gonna
spend the
piss me
season developing it,
This is what's
though-
going to piss me off about this whole Kenny thing all year long,
Oh,
though.
boy.
Oh, here we go.
Because every
Hold on,
time
he's gonna
he's-
get fired up.
every
Holster
time he-
co, reload rant
Every
here.
time he struggles, he's going to come back and say, well, the bike's not set up, and this and that. Well, yeah, no shit,
But
Kenny.
you're only going to get away with that for the first 4 to 5 rounds.
Yeah,
and
but
then at
that's
that
the thing.
point, you're just
Everybody
going to have
lets
to
him-
say, sorry, the bike just sucks today.
But everybody lets him get away. I don't think the bike sucks. I don't agree with that. I think the bike looked fine. I think this is just how Kenny is. He probably is going to win a race or 2 this year because he's going to get a starting gap, and then he's just look. We talked about this in the preview show. We're not going to get all over the top. He killed it in Paris. He walked away. He didn't walk away, but he beat Eli. He is going to be fast. His starts are going to be good. His whoop speed's going to be good. But Ken Roxon is not going to be the Ken Roxon of old ever again. He's going to be good. He's going to be up there. Now, he's not going to have last year's problems because we know there was more to that than everybody realized. But the days of Kenny winning a title or being there for the championship at the end of the year, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. I think he's going to be good, and I still stand by. I think he's going to win a race this year, if
I
not
still
2.
think he's top 4 or 5 in points, which is really fucking respectable.
Oh,
we like to shit on that
I
all the
don't,
time. We like to shit on the fact that he's been second how many years in the points.
But do you guys think that he looked the same in the opening few laps like he did in years past?
No, he made a few
I
mistakes.
think he's still timid on that bike.
I was gonna say,
however,
I don't
he
think
was
he-
able to turn that thing down.
That he was.
He
but
made
I,
a-
I don't think he had that initial first 2-3 lap sprint speed like we would see in the last several
Well,
years.
also, you got to
here.
think about it, though. Every time he gets away from these guys, he gets the start, though.
Yeah.
He's never really gotten a third-place start and been able to just... It's always when he has a completely clear track.
I guess, but he has gotten second and third place starts and then just made passes the first few corners.
Yeah, but I feel like
he
that's
didn't.
been
But he
years
didn't
ago.
do that. No. You go back to last year and watch that.
Not last year. Last
the
year he
year
was
before.
terrible.
Oh, yeah, last year
2020,
wasn't great.
2021 maybe.
21, 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
you go back to those. Like you watch him, he'll get a top 5 start, but in the first 3 corners he passes everybody.
I just don't know if
And he didn't do that last night, and it wasn't.
I don't think the track allowed that. Though.
I don't think so either. That track was very. Somebody had made this comment.
Slot car.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it was very reminiscent of the year he got hurt
Yeah.
because it was soft pockets in the
Sticky,
transitions.
yeah.
With
Here's the thing, though.
things,
Do we
yeah.
think even if he gets a start, though, these days, that he's going to be able to do that?
I think so.
Even if Eli's on him?
If he's got that sprint speed like he had on the Honda, maybe.
I think that it still needs time. Larry
Yeah.
Brooks even mentioned it. And another thing that I thought was cool, they had the team managers in the press conference.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
Yep,
I
yep.
enjoyed that.
Did you guys? Did you guys happen to see that he had the old school hot start? He's got an old school hot start from the carburetor days on there
No.
for the fuel injection.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it a hot start?
it's basically your version of a hot start.
Well, hey,
Like that's confirmed. It's not a mapping.
No,
thing?
it's because it's cabled.
Well,
it's
hey.
a version of a hot start.
Listen, off topic here, but 3 Suzukis hit the ground last night. Well, 2 of them.
Yeah, and one of
Two
them
of
didn't
them.
even make the.
They stayed running every time.
Yeah.
Poor Shane.
All right.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Poor Shane and Chiz.
Johnny sins.
Johnny.
Also, by the way, not that it's a big deal, but Entic retires. That's interesting.
I should have wore his
Yep.
jersey.
I mean,
We got a plate on the wall. Let's pour a little out for the homie.
yeah,
Pour a
okay.
twisted tea out for our boy. Hey, last thing about Kenny though. Do you think we see KYB show up on that bike at all?
Yep.
No, probably at some point.
He made mention that he's on a completely different suspension.
I mean, dude, he's got free reign to do what he wants.
Well,
If-
after listening to kind of the Stu podcast thing with RCH going KYB,
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even doubt like Larry Brooks. I think is the guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That bike might have KYB internals at some point.
I give it till 5 or 6 if they don't get it figured out with what's on there.
Yeah, because he did make mention.
Would not
like,
be surprised.
Yeah, because he was like, we don't have any factory parts on this bike.
Mm-hmm.
So-
The thing that scares me, though, since it's been such a long time since he's been on the Suzuki and going to a team that has resources but not as much as a factory team, it scares me a little bit, though, that if they start chasing their tail, if he's going to go completely one way, and then that's going to fuck him for a few rounds.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Kenny's pretty good at just going right back to the stock bike and piecing it together.
Yeah.
Chad Reed did it, and look how what turned out with him.
Yep. All right, let's move on here. Start moving through these. So Colt Nichols gets 6th. Colt Nichols openly admitted.
Hey, just didn't. We talked about this.
He openly admitted he was not the 6th fastest dude, but he just
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you're the 6th fastest dude. If you're 6th, you're 6th.
Be that
Like,
guy.
he was just fucking solid.
Be that
And
guy.
guess what?
He just didn't crash.
He's going to be...
just do all the laps.
And do think about that's his first race in a year.
Year.
You can date
Yeah.
back to this race last year.
And he crashed, and that was where the crash was.
And he talks about also that wrist is never going to be 100% again.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's like, he has to do a lot of physio to even get that thing to not just lock up on him.
Yeah.
I seriously believe that's where he's going to be the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. He got 6 without the speed being there. Mm-hmm. Give him 7, 8 rounds when the speed starts coming back.
People
Yep.
get hurt.
Yeah. But I think even if people didn't get hurt, I think that Colt, dude, we talked about this. He's a 5 to 10 guy all year long.
Yep.
And I
He's the new Brayton.
want to see somebody
Yep.
argue with me on that because
New
dude,
Brayton.
he's-
Good looking dude on a Honda.
I could see him just riding like that for the next 20 years.
I mean, dude, honestly though, because his program and I think his style fits it because he's not a guy that gets outside of last year, he doesn't get sketch a lot.
Yeah.
But Colt Nichols is smart as well.
He is very smart. People don't
He's
give him
a-
credit for that.
One, like I mentioned before, good fucking dude. Mm-hmm. 2,
That was a title.
Good fucking
Good fucking dude.
He is a good fucking dude.
He is a good fucking dude.
Hey, no homo. He's a good looking dude too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go.
We're
Anyway,
going to put that on a t-shirt. Colt Nichols. Good fucking dude.
Good looking fucking dude.
and a good looking dude.
And
There
a
you
good
go.
looking dude.
I mean Honda. That's why I say Brayton. Those sexy son of a bitches. But anyway. Oh God, that
Hey, you
that
got
took-
flustered.
Wow, I'm thinking of the rainbow shoes I got at home.
You got way flustered on that one.
Wow.
Just thinking of Colton Nichols and joggers.
Are you going to...
No, I was thinking. You know what I thought
Gray
of? I
joggers.
I thought of his cross earring and the checkerboard one in the other ear.
Oh God.
Because
Okay.
I was watching the press conference with my chick, and she's like, "Man, like kudos to him to like being himself." Because a lot of guys would go up there and not wear something like that
Yeah.
to get made fun of.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to tell her the story of Phil Nicoletti talking shit about him, and then was like, got to meet him, and was like, "You're a good fucking guy."
Look, those Oklahoma
Anyway,
boys.
he's a good fucking dude.
Anyway, before I got flustered by his good looks,
Oh, my God.
I'm flustered again, dude.
Dude, those Oklahoma
He
boys don't give a
set
fuck.
Listen, he's setting
Justin Bogle. Slide that one in there too.
whatever. Yeah, but he's setting himself up, I think, for a career after racing because he's went in, he's proved himself that he's a good test rider. Chase has mentioned it over and over again.
Yep.
Lars has mentioned it over and over again. Even if he doesn't have a spot at Honda, I think manufacturers are going to look at that, and he is going to be around.
Yep.
I also think
So-
that the few times he did the race day live last year, I think that if he wants to, and I know that this is like a thing we're doing with these, like, oh, if they get retired, they're going to go into the booth. I think Colt, he can,
You know who's doing that? Justin Brayton, and he's
Yeah.
a good fucking dude.
he is a good fucking, he's a good
Good
looking
looking
something.
Good looking
dude.
fucking dude.
Good looking fucking dude. No, but
On a Honda.
I'm,
On a Honda.
I'm super stoked for Colt, and I think this is where he's going to be the entire year. I
Cool.
don't think he's going to drop off because
No.
even if his speed's not there, he proved it last night. He's still just going to get 6 because
6 to 9 guy.
yeah, because what he
King.
was like hovering around speed wise 10 to 12 most of the day.
Yeah.
and he pulls off a 6th.
Yep.
He's just going
And
to be
I
there.
hope that's what Honda's expectation on him is, because I think that's way
if they're
bigger.
expecting any more than that, it's stupid.
Yeah, and I think expectations from manufacturers weigh on these guys way more than the common fan even
Yep.
imagine.
I hope if
So,
he gets a podium, his bonus is through the fucking roof.
Me too.
I really do.
All right, moving on here. 7th place, Jason Anderson. Did you
Listen,
see?
top 5. Did you see the crash in practice though?
Yeah,
He had a few of
dude.
them.
I laughed so hard at that because his caption on that, "Stay dangerous."
Yeah.
as he's hitting the soft spot and just cartwheeling over the front of the
Oh,
bike.
dude, he hit hard.
That
And to
was-
say he wasn't hurting the rest of the night from that, you're a
Yeah,
fool.
that
Did
was.
any-
I think that had a lot to do with it.
Did anybody think that he seemed like he was rushing things a lot last night?
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of who Anderson is, but like specifically last night, he looked like he was rushing things. a
Crash
little
in the
too
main
much.
was really weird.
he
It's
was.
not-
He
it-
was rushing things, and there was a lot of that. There was a lot of weird, like over jumping shit,
Which
and
quite a
things
few
like
guys were having that.
Yeah.
Yep. But he just, to me, he looked like he was rushing things a little bit too much, like even more than he normally would as far as being aggressive. And I don't know if it was a pressure thing, something he expected him, but his speed was still there. So
Yeah.
we know
he
that
was
that's
still
not the
top
issue.
5 before that
Yeah.
really weird crash in the main.
And even
Yeah,
Weech
that
talked
was-
about it. He's like, look, guys, like Anderson had a off night, but that was still, his speed was there. Because I fully believe had he not knifed the front, he was going around Kenny.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Oh,
he would have
man.
finished, but he was going around Kenny, and Kenny was 4th when that happened, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
yeah.
So he would at least been, he would have been in the top 5. So
Where did he end up? 7th, right?
7th, yep.
Okay. I mean,
So-
that's still good points in the ball
I mean,
game.
he didn't blow it.
7th, and he was 30 seconds back.
Was it? Wow. I mean, the crash
Yeah,
where? Does anyone remember what he got last year? After
No,
Barsha
all I
took him
remember
out?
is-
Oh,
him
he
and
was like
Barsha.
4th. I mean, Barsha cleaned him. So what?
Okay, so
About the same, probably.
Yeah,
because I'm just trying to think back if that was anywhere near he was last
Oh,
year.
hold on. I guess we have the technology here to find out.
'Cause I'm
Wow,
just
we got
curious.
Starlink out here now.
I'm just curious where he was last year because I'm thinking if he was,
10th.
so he's better off
Yeah.
than he was last year.
Wow.
So I mean, dude, if you're him, that's already. Do you guys agree? That's already a plus for him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, you're 3 spots better than you were last year, and look where you were.
I mean, I would say that's a big plus, except for Eli won.
Well, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about this too. Is once you
That's
get
a problem.
That is a problem.
wait till you get to Arizona, some of this dry, hard dirt, Detroit, even here on the East Coast.
Oh,
That's
San
where
Diego.
Ando shines, man.
Because he's 3 spots better than last year. Tomek's 6 spots better than last year.
Yep. No, I agree. That is a
So
problem. I'm
that's
just
a
trying to think of
problem.
where he was as opposed to
Yeah.
now. So for him, if you got to take something away, well, I'm 3 spots better than last year.
Yep. All right, moving on. AP gets 8th. Anybody else think AP was going to do better than that? The way he was riding practice.
I think something happened in the main.
I think he went down. No, he did go down.
He did go down
Oh,
because
okay.
he
The
was
2-3
like
before
4th,
the-
5th, and then ended up like 8th or something.
The 2-3 or roll 3 into the before the finish. He went down.
Oh, okay.
I think he clipped the landing of the 3 and just bounced into the corner.
What did he end up? 8th.
8th. Yep.
Good thing I picked him because
No,
he's
so
going
did I.
double points All Star next week.
Okay, Daddy over here won. It's fine.
He won by 7 points, and I had one guy didn't
Hey,
make the main.
hey,
So he's over
We're
here
one
hyping.
round in.
Hey, just an FYI, my chick smoked. Well, not so much smoke. Beat you. Smoked the shit out of you.
Did you guys have 8 people
That's
in the
fine.
main?
And she
I had
doesn't
8
even,
in.
she doesn't even know what the fuck she's. I mean, she literally was like last second, like, "What's that website again for picking this?" Pulp
Hey,
Max
you
Fantasy.
better watch out for Dale Urban 69er.
Look, I had 7 dudes in, and
That's
my
I have it. I have a Send It account.
You have a Send It account. Hey, you have too much time on your hands, is what you have, sir.
No, I just have 2 accounts. One, you just pick all the ballsiest Send It, high risk, high reward picks.
Did
think
you
I
see
was
where
con-
you ended up overall in Industry Idiots from last night?
I don't even want to look.
I'm like 141st.
No, I'm probably whatever. There's 1,000 people in it, so
I know.
I think if you're in top 500, you're all right.
So, anyways, yeah, I mean, but AP was like 10th in practice though, so it's not like you set the world on fire.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
he
I mean,
looked good though.
I
Getting
was
those
gonna say-
practice holies and
He was saucy.
Oh, he was spicy.
Getting out front. So
Once again, we
Spicy.
talk about what is our expectation for AP.
Yeah.
I was happy for him that he got in the top 10 because he got didn't he get 10th last year?
well,
No, he got 11th.
I tell you what, it keeps
No, he
raining out
didn't.
there.
No.
It keeps raining. He might fucking win
Maybe.
this weekend.
Maybe.
he got 9th last year.
Okay. So no, I mean he was as long as you're in the top 10.
So he's
for
one
AP.
spot better.
and maybe he'll get Roger to finally talk to him again.
Maybe.
Why they don't talk?
No, not really.
Roger hasn't talked to him since he signed him.
It's kind of saying with Voland,
Why?
I bet he's talking to Volan, but we'll
Now.
get to that.
just because of I don't know. It's this,
When you don't do good, Roger doesn't talk to you. This is a very well-known fact.
Ian talks to you though.
Anyway, all right, next
Fucking
up.
weird, dude.
It is weird.
Next
Roger's
up,
a weird
Cancel DeCoster.
Next,
Oh,
Here we go.
Old heads will punch you in the face
next up.
Hey, no, new merch coming. It's gonna say cancel DeCoster.
with Roger and a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not making that shirt. You're on your own. All
I'll
right,
get behind it.
AC 9th. So okay.
Hey, top 10's a win for AC.
What did in his Steve was interviewing him after the race? Quiet night, and AC goes, "We really like quiet nights."
So because you're the big AC fan on this show, and you look at that, and he made it through. He didn't crash.
Didn't crash.
He tipped over in practice once or twice. Not a
happens.
big deal. Didn't crash.
So did
It happens.
everybody. Jet
So did everybody
crashed
else.
twice
Everybody
in
else
practice.
died except for RJ Hampshire, which was weird.
Which is fucking
We'll
wild.
get into that because I'm happy for that dude.
Something's weird. What's going on?
Something's
What
happening
is
over there.
your, and it's one round, what is your feeling after last night for that for AC? Because
I got to get a few more in here.
That
to see.
speed, like the speed was not there at all.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Like not even fucking
Speed
close.
was there.
No, no,
Really?
no.
Look at the segment times. He was
No,
half
I
a
talk
second
about as a-
faster in the main in segment 1
I talk about as a
than
whole.
anyone.
Talk about as a whole. Throughout the whole main, consistently, the speed wasn't there. There were flashes.
Listen, man, I am completely fine with it. The road that he's been on, a top 10 is a win.
Like
for
I,
AC.
so I'm on the path with him of like just do all the laps. Let's just do all the laps. We get through this. If we did all the laps, we get to Salt Lake City and we did all the laps. We're in a really good spot because we did all the laps.
And this is the first time, and I think he's kind of hitting at it and won't just come straight out and say it, but this is the first time in his career that he has accepted that it's okay not to go out there and win
Yep.
and get thirds and like.
And you want to know what's helping him with that? The drugs. All the drugs helped him discover that.
What do you mean?
The ayahuasca.
Sure.
So what
Iowa.
I don't
that doesn't
know a
make any
lot
sense.
about
He
Ayahuasca.
went to talk. He went to talk to like the interdimensional beings or the elves or whatever the fuck you want to call them, whatever you see.
It's like DMT, man. It's just
Yeah.
you
and
have a
they told him
you have an
"You're
inner
okay."
you have an outer body experience, and you just have this new perspective.
He
on life.
hasn't openly talked about like what he actually saw, but like this is what you do. You go see them and they tell you.
And to
your
be honest
path.
with you, I don't believe in any of that bullshit. But there
Have
are
you ever
people-
done it?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Have
I know
you
what it
done
does
it?
to your
Do you
brain.
want to do mushrooms?
I know mushrooms. That's totally.
Anyway.
shrooms are not even near ayahuasca.
Anyway,
I know, but
maybe that's
I don't
what
we
believe
he
got to
in
start
that shit, though.
somewhere.
I don't believe
Okay.
in any of that shit.
Maybe that's what he needed because he needs to look at it from our perspective. Guys like us, we are fine with him just getting a
Maybe
top 10.
maybe what happened is he's watched his pro career through guys like ours eyes during this trip, and he figured out, holy crap, when I didn't win,
That'd be kind of
I
dope.
was still
actually.
pretty awesome.
I kind
Here's
of
the
want to
pro-
watch
here's
my
the-
life from somebody else's
Here's the
eyes.
problem,
See?
though. That's just a
Telling you.
mental
Yeah.
thing.
Drugs.
You want to
It's-
go?
It's still.
I gotta do shrooms first.
It's
I
still
can't
not
do
a
it.
physical-
Hey, support the Patreon so we can go on an ayahuasca
Ayahuasca trip.
You boys would end up butt ass naked in the woods, thinking you're talking to wolves.
And what the fuck is wrong with that?
you guys can't.
it's
handle those
natural.
drugs. You guys can't handle.
Can't
those drugs.
handle it. No, I
Ask
don't
this
fuck with
motherfucker
drugs.
what happened the last time he
Listen.
got fucking high.
Listen,
I
I
ate
don't, I don't
food.
talk
Hey,
about drugs.
I ate food.
Hey.
I didn't think I was
Hey.
having an outer body
Hey.
experience.
Ask
I don't fuck with drugs though. Seriously, I really don't fuck
Ask
with
him.
them.
I don't either. But ask him about the last time he got high.
I ate food. He's talking about
That's
I ate
what
his
you do.
brownie. There's a big
Dude,
difference.
middle of the night. Shit you not. I'm fucking pumped up.
Oh, he's gonna-
I go to
here
the
we go.
gas
What's he
station.
pumped up on?
Hold on. I go to the gas station. I get like 67
Listen, hang
little
on, hang on.
Debbies.
How long ago was this?
Within
is
the
by
last
the
6
Red Bud-
months.
this was
Yeah,
the Red
Red
Bud
Bud
National.
Yeah, Red Bud National.
Oh, it sounded like you guys were over here having a sleepover or something.
yeah,
No,
Red
bro.
Bud National.
Okay.
Anyway,
I didn't know if it was like
I go to the gas station on Friday night, right? And I get, or was it Friday, Saturday? I don't know. I think it was Friday. Anyway, I get like 67 little Debbies. And I eat like 65 of them, right? So I leave the other
That's
two.
an
I leave the other
exaggerated
two sitting on the table. One of them is a cosmic brownie. Okay, one of the big ones too,
Oh,
dude. The big
God.
daddies. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll just eat these tomorrow. Middle of the night, I'm sleeping and I hear a, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? But I don't think anything of it. I go back to sleep. Right. Next day we get up, go to the race, whatever. Come home. I'm sitting there the next night and I'm like, oh, where'd that cosmic brownie go?
Brownie.
Can't fucking find it. I text this motherfucker. Hey, you see my cosmic brownie? I look in the garbage can. There's the wrapper. This motherfucker gets high when we get back and then proceeds to, in the middle of the night, wake up still high and eat my
I'm hungry.
fucking brownie, not even know he did it.
I was hungry, bro.
Literally,
That's just normal.
literally did not even know he did it.
This is normal high
Eats
shit,
my
bro.
brownie, just throws the wrapper away, doesn't say shit to me.
Hey,
honestly,
man, you know what
until
you
he-
guys are doing right now? You're giving our guy Adam some comment fucking fuel.
Because honestly,
don't
when
care.
because it was
Make
funny because when he
comments,
said it,
fine.
I didn't even realize that I did it, and then when he told me, oh yeah, I found, it, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I did eat that brownie.
Oh, he's gonna be dropping Doughboy again.
Oh
Adam
boy.
is.
So anyway,
Whatever
so
it
he
is.
ate my cosmic
So back to
brownie.
the real Adam though.
Back to the real Adam, though. The ayahuasca did him good because apparently 9th is okay for him now, and
Listen,
that's great.
I think that's a great mindset.
We need
for
to do
him.
all the laps. That's all we need is to do all the laps.
But okay, so my question is, what happens after that though? Because that means that
then
shoulder's
that-
still
then
not
we,
better.
Then we can start building
It's
here,
not
bro.
the shoulder.
It's not the shoulder.
It's the nerve in his arm.
Okay, so the nerve in his arm isn't automatically going to get better. That's my question to you guys is that because you're behind this, is okay, he makes it through the laps, makes it through the season. We know it's a big deal for him. It's never happened.
I think he can still get 10th all season
But
with no arm.
But what happens, though, because that nerve is just not, it's not going to get better, though. Okay, so then what?
Do we know that the nerve's not good? Did he
Nerves-
say that?
I don't know if
He
nerves...
says
we've
he's
heard
taking
it.
the steps to make it better.
I don't
know.
think your nerves, once it's bad, I don't really know outside of like stem cells and shit like that they can really do for it. It's kind of the same thing with
I don't
rotator
know.
cuff
Yeah.
surgery.
I mean, yeah.
So that's my question is like, okay, he makes it through and we're happy that he's healthy and he's making it through, but then what? He's still going to be in the same situation. So what happens then?
I don't know. We'll see, man. Look,
That's only my question. That's all I have.
We just got to work our way through it. All right.
It's kind of like Kenny with all his issues.
All right. Let's move on.
No.
10th place, Joey Savacci. He's in for 8 rounds on that Rick Ware Racing, and I was highly disappointed that Rick Ware Racing was not red, white, and blue, but I guess Summit's probably not sponsoring it.
I did I did make that comment. I'm like, holy shit, that setup looks so much better than the fucking red numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were kind of stupid.
It looked way better.
Hey, man.
What kind of gear was he in? Canvas?
I think there was a lot
Maybe.
of people running
I don't know.
canvas.
Yeah.
I'm happy
and I
for
want to
him.
talk to Kev about Canvas.
Hey,
Okay, great, because we're going to call Kev right now.
Oh.
So we're just gonna
We're just this 450 class here.
We're not going to be able to do it in a couple minutes.
So, well, let's get through as much as we can
All right,
here.
where were we at? I forgot.
So we had just touched on Savacci in 10th there. So Barsha
Super organized.
Barsha gets 11th, and he was leading. And
he
I
hits
was
the
like,
deck.
oh
Looked
boy.
pretty good. I was like, these
Yeah.
guys are going
Bike
to
looks
struggle
good.
passing him.
Then he hits the deck.
Yep. So
Lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
real lucky.
Could've smoked the side of the
Dude,
start.
I thought he was
I
gonna.
thought
do
he was
that.
going to loop it into the side of the gate.
I
I
was
was like,
like,
oh, here we go.
He
So
just barely hung a wheel on that, though. It's like that.
Yeah.
That landing had like a shelf to it, kind of thing.
yeah,
But that shows you though how there was no transition to react. Like the moment
No.
you got loose, it was game over.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. Whatever. Going to be a good pick for next week.
Oh, Jesus.
He ain't an all-star.
This is true. Want to know who else is an all-star?
This next guy,
The next guy, Marvin Muskin, 12th.
fast in practice.
Can I just say, me posting up that reel on Instagram and the short on YouTube and calling him Red Bull KTM's number 1 rider stirred the fucking shit pot
Did it?
hard. Oh yeah, I got so many comments
I'm gonna
about how I
start
was
calling
a
you Johnny
fucking
Hopper,
moron.
you clickbaity fool.
Dude, I got so many comments on how I was a fucking no way. He hasn't won any titles.
Johnny
all
clickbait
this
over
shit.
here.
I don't
He
give a
looked great
fuck.
in practice,
Fuck him.
man.
It's a 250 title. They can all suck. a
First
dick.
off, I don't give a shit because it got us that's got like 30,000 views of the video Isaac sent me of him literally riding out from under the
people
tent.
like that shit though.
It's fucking wild.
Like
to me.
Thomas-Unis. That's
Yeah.
literally all he does.
He
Yeah.
looked great in practice, man. Looked great in practice.
He did, and I think he'll get better as it wears on. Although
Yeah.
I did think that track yesterday would have Marv written
So
all
did I.
over
That's why I
it
picked
because it
him.
was sticky.
That's why I
Yeah.
picked him.
So
No, the gear thing like Nick does it, but you do have to look sick. And Marv looks sick. Mark
Yeah.
Mark
Mark.
Mark's
Twain.
over here.
Mark Muskin. Dude, he low-key looks sweet. He matches his boots with his gear and stuff. Like
He's got some swag to him.
he's got a little bit of swag to him.
yeah, for sure.
It's a French thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all right. Next up, this is my disappointment of the race here. Christian Craig, 13th.
Yeah, I don't know
what
really
the
what
hell
happened
Like
to him.
there?
started 15th and like never went anywhere.
I don't know really what happened to him. We didn't get to see him a lot throughout the day.
He crashed pretty hard in the whoops.
Yeah.
He
I don't
did.
know if it would have been, jitters, whatever you want to call it. We didn't really see him much. Didn't really see him even much through practice. I'm not that concerned about it. First race, whatever.
I do think there were jitters though because he had some low-key hype
Oh yeah, dude.
coming in,
especially-
and
There
especially with
was
all the
hype.
family
remember
that, like,
earlier in his 250 career when he was hyped up with Geico and stuff like that.
Yeah, he kinda
Lots
shit
of
the bed.
weird blunders.
Yep.
I think
and
it'll be fine.
mistakes,
I think it'll
so.
be fine.
I think it'll
putting
get
a lot of stock,
better.
yeah.
I mean, he said, "Oh, it doesn't bother me or whatever," but
Every one of those guys.
I was
had
gonna say,
something.
but there was low key hype of like, well, weird people win this race. Craig could be the weird guy because Anaheim's like a fucking second home to him. So
I think it'll be fine.
whatever.
I didn't realize Barsha lived like 5 minutes down the road. His California house.
I'm a huge Christian Craig fan.
We
And
know
Paige,
she's
Paige,
know.
anytime you want to come on, talk some shit to these knuckleheads over
Don't
here.
put me in that. I'm not in there. It's
I'm
him.
putting you
Listen,
both
man,
in it.
I was a little negative. You did change me a little bit.
I'm not in there.
You did
That-
change.
I'm not the negative person.
Listen, I have been swayed.
Yeah, let's talk some
I
more
have
about
been
this,
swayed.
and we'll tag him in some more.
Cool. No, I have been swayed. Paige, I did tag you in that because I know you're good on social.
Paige,
kind
you
of
are
a-
awesome.
It was kind of a clickbait thing because I knew you would respond. But
Oh boy.
I knew you were coming.
I knew you were gonna
would
respond.
But no, but that's the thing though is that's why they do have such a great following, because
Yeah.
they do respond to their people.
And
which
her and Christian have commented or something on our stuff before too. So
have they?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I can't remember what it was that we posted, but there was something.
I have swayed, and as I get older in life,
Oh boy, here
I
we go.
understand the family thing.
Good.
Here we go.
Good. All right, let's keep it rolling.
All right. Next up we got Dean Wilson, 14th. That's
Hey,
kind of where I
Kind of where I
expected.
said he was going to be.
Where I picked
Yep.
him.
So,
Your boy.
Dean's Dean.
Dean is Dean. Dean's Dean. your boy.
15th, Justin Hill showed up to a race. That was wild.
Made it in.
Don't give me that bullshit, man.
Hey, man, speed.
I can't believe
Both the hills were in the main.
Got the speed. Hey, speed.
was-
Speed, you just can't. Yeah, did anybody at any point that LCQ how weird that, like, Freddie, Kev, Josh Hill, and then John Short?
I thought it was funny. Ricky was talking about him and stuff. Like, I think Ricky should have mentioned, like, Josh Hill, like, rides for fun. Now they're talking about the skate park shit, and they're like, they should have said something like, at one time, this guy battled with Stewart and Dundee.
Yeah.
And also one time
And
this
won.
guy. It's also this one time this guy tried to backflip and almost ended his fucking career.
Yeah.
Died.
Oh, that thing folded. Oh, my God.
Hawaii's own Grant Harlan.
Very happy
16th?
for that dude. First 450 Supercross main.
He's on the Rock River team.
Yeah.
Didn't
the
know
team that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he's rock.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
You see his backyard Supercross
picked
track
it-
he's
hey.
got going on?
You know the Send It account?
Yeah.
Harlan was a pick.
Oh boy.
Harlan.
Harlan
hey,
and Noren were picks.
good for Harlan.
You know
man.
who
That's-
else was on the Send It team?
Oh boy.
Robin. He didn't lay an egg this time.
I was very tempted to pick Grant
That was
Harlan.
a rough LCQ.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I was very tempted to pick Grant Harlan, and I was like, man, he always has something stupid. But
Did you pick your boy John Short? All that confidence you had in him?
no, but he still made the main,
Wow.
so fuck you both. You both suck it. He made the fucking main.
All that shit you talked about John Short, you didn't even fucking pick him.
No, I didn't. Did he make it in? You guys, oh,
This is why he only
He did
lost
make
by
the main,
7
but he didn't
points.
pick him.
Yeah, I didn't pick him, but you guys, oh, I don't think he's gonna make the main. Made the main. Suck it.
Barely.
Still, did he fucking make the main?
Barely.
He
Did he
did
make the
make the main. They're-
Did he make the
Barely.
main? Did
Yeah,
he make the
I'll
main?
give it to you.
Couple asters,
Barely.
but he made
Did he
the
make
main.
the main? It doesn't fucking matter if you
Okay.
barely make the main.
Hey,
Made
Lars
the main.
Barely.
Lindstrom knows who he is.
Barely.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Still made the main.
All right. Josh Hill, 17th. Starling, 18th, which we figured. Friend of the show, Kev there, 19th. Norn, who we just talked about, 20th. John Short, again, who we just talked about, 21st. And,
This is the guy I have some comments on.
okay, go for it. Mookie,
Well, can I
22nd.
say one thing? Because I think you're probably going to go in a little more in depth, and I'm just going to say one thing. People are getting a little pissed off about the fact that the asterisk guy was holding on to Mookie, like not letting him get on the back on his bike.
He
I'm
did
all
look
for
right.
it. I'm all for it. People are like, why the hell was he not letting him get on the back? Like, I don't know. Did you see him when he stood up? He was wobbling around like a fucking.
Okay,
Jackaloon?
let's take a pause there for a second because it wasn't a great look when he stood up, but if you watch, he slipped in the rut. Okay, there's
And the
the
asterisk guy
entire.
fell on his
I was
ass.
gonna say the entire track is ruts that are this fucking deep. And okay, cool, you're out of breath. You just flipped asshole over elbows. You stand up, and the edge of the rut breaks away from you. Yeah, you stumbled, and it's gonna look like that. Now, was that gnarly? That crash he had, and might he have hit his head? Maybe, but I'm not 100% either way. This is my contradictive.
People are just pissed off.
Whatever
They're like,
to
why
the
was he letting him on the
asterisk
bike?
guy.
I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to look out for rider safety. We
Yeah.
preach rider safety, rider safety.
I do
Look,
appreciate
I
it,
always say this.
but
I'm big into MMA. I see a lot of times guys get hit in the head and doctors don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah.
I want more of this. I don't give a shit that it might have cost him a spot here, a spot there. If he didn't end up,
it didn't cost him shit.
and that's what I mean.
People
they're just
that fucking
there are
bike.
people that are pissed off. They're like, why was he letting him on the bike? Dude was doing his job.
Yeah,
I commend him. He did what he was supposed to do.
He did the
Because
right
if Mookie gets on that bike and he's not 100% and he
Yeah.
crashes, y'all people talking all the shit on the internet are not saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with what that dude did.
I don't either.
Anyways, to your
Well,
point.
a lot of people have been talking shit about this point, and I'll see if you guys agree with me or think I'm a fucking idiot.
I think I'm gonna.
I mean, I think you're a fucking idiot anyway.
I think I'm gonna agree with you.
Well, listen, I
like fucking stupid.
listen, man. Let me
Colt
get all the way
Nichols?
through it.
Colt Nichols.
There's a lot of layers here.
Oh, boy.
Layers upon layers of dormant.
I
muscle.
think. Listen, I think Mook got tired. Mook looked like he got tired. That fake Mookie
Dookie Mookie.
Mookie was in the Dookie because he got tired.
Mookie was in the Dookie.
Mookie was in the Dookie. I
Let's
mean,
just mark this as another person who will never come on the podcast.
Nah, he was never gonna come on anyway. He's got better.
Let's just mark it as
I bet
another
we could get him on a boat and go fishing with him.
probably.
Well, anyway, I think he got tired. I don't think the Baker program works for a guy like Mookie. He's a bigger guy. Eldon, let Mookie have a steak. Let him have some fish. Let him have some salmon or something. We don't need to be on this berry diet or whatever they're on. I'm talking shit. I don't know exactly what their diet is, but I don't think it's working for him because he seems to get tired. Speed was there. Maybe he did tighten up. And the crash kind of leads me into that too. And this is where people tell me I'm a fucking idiot. I think the false neutral, whatever happened, comes from a physical thing where he's, oh shit, I'm tired. I'm not going where I need to go. And then your mind starts thinking, why am I tired? Why can't I catch these guys? One little blunder at that level is a false neutral and a crash like that. And I think it all comes back to the fitness.
Well, yeah, if you're not controlling your breathing, you're not getting oxygen to your brain can't react.
Exactly.
It's kind of like what Coach talks all the time with these 250 guys, especially to your point, Mookie being a bigger guy, stored body fat. Mookie's a bigger guy. He can't be, what? He's a normal guy that would probably walk around at like 180, 185. He's probably down to 170. That 10 pounds can mean everything.
Thank you. I mean, I mentioned
and
this
didn't
on
I make
Twitter.
a comment on the preview show about him saying he was getting tired last year?
Yeah, that I knew. You're in the back of my head. But, and I mentioned this on our Twitter account, and people are trying to go back and forth. No, we hit neutral. It doesn't mean anything. And nobody can grasp the concept that it's got layers to it. You get tired, your brain starts thinking, and then you make a little bit of an error. And at that speed and level, that air
But what would
can
the
fuck
air?
everything up.
But what would the air be? Because he rolled through the corner. There wasn't a shift.
He was
at
shifting
that point.
up.
You think he was shifting?
He shifts up onto the tabletop, drives off the table, and goes through the section.
Where he should have just came off that in second.
What if the rut just caught it and pulled it into neutral as he was going off, like Sexton talks about at the end?
I
Watch
wouldn't
his
think.
foot.
I wouldn't
Okay.
think that when you're landing on a table when it's straight.
Have you actually looked at that?
Watch his foot. Yeah.
His foot moves.
You're either going to be.
I'll pull it up right
You're
now.
either going to be shifting in the air or you're going to be shifting at the pocket of the face. Why would you be shifting anywhere else? You don't have time when you shift as you start to land
He's
on the
popping
table.
out, and it
Yeah, but it's on off. So if he goes on in second, then as he popped off, he'd shift to third to go 3, 4.
But what he's saying is he was shifting before that.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe I
And
don't
you
know. I
shouldn't-
haven't studied it that
he's like
close.
shifting in the air.
But I'm just saying it was a false. We all can agree it was a false neutral.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
With as hard as
'Cause
his
you can
momentum
see
went
it,
down. Yeah. And the way that front end dropped, he didn't get the drive off the tabletop.
That's an iPhone right there. Just so you know,
So
I just want to let you know that that's what an iPhone looks like.
I don't give a shit.
If you have
I
one of
don't
those,
know.
the
This
group
might
chat
not
would work
'cause
better.
this-
Yeah, I don't care.
This is a dog water clip. You can't really
The fact that Dylan or Coop almost landed on him.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is dog water.
No,
you gotta
man.
watch
You
it
don't,
on a
hey,
bigger
look,
screen.
Cole. You don't have to try to convince me. I'm on board with it.
Okay.
I'm really on board with it. The only reason I also, just to back that point up before we move off of this,
Well, I want
is
the
look
listener to look at it.
Look how hard, like after Chase passed him, how quickly he went backwards as well.
Well, look at him. He didn't want to get back on the track very easy because he was fucking huffing and puffing and breathing down that sideline.
And I believe part of that too was, I mean, think about it. All of a sudden, he's leading A1, and he's like, "Oh shit, I could win this," which he's been there before to an extent, but that was also a mud race, So
And here's my second thing: if this is indeed what's going on, and he is getting tired, and there's no budging in the Eldon program, can't make any changes because what he says is what you do. Does Big James get involved?
No, Eldon don't
know.
want Big James involved. Eldon don't want Big James involved.
I mean,
Look, this is just to my point.
know,
Malcolm rode great last night up until that. His speed's never been the issue. He would have been a solid top 5 dude had that not happened. But this is why I believe he will never win a race because just shit like this always happens with him. Yeah. 3rd place last year in the points, solid, always there. Second, he got 2nd place in what was it, Glendale, right? He got 2nd,
yeah, something like that.
But he
actually, I think he had 2 or 3 podiums.
Yeah, he had a couple podiums, but I think Glendale was the first one. He's never gonna win. He's just not because there
wasn't a small part of you at all last night that was like, oh, here we go.
No, because did you see how quickly after Chase bombed that rhythm section, he closed back up on him? I like Mookie. I really do. Everybody knows I'm a Stewart family guy, but I just don't think. God, people are gonna flame. I don't think he has it in him to win a race.
Oh boy, I'm cutting this into a short for
Fine,
sure.
you can, and you know what? If people want to shit on me for it, that's fine. But I just don't. He's not his brother, and I know that he never claims to be James.
Yeah.
But he's never going to be his brother. Obviously, it's too late in his career to ever be that
well,
anyway.
he has kind of broken out of that mold.
Yeah.
And he realized.
And I just want to take a step back, too, with the Big James thing, Big James getting involved. I'm not shitting on that at all.
No.
Because I
clearly it worked.
Well, clearly it works, but I respect the fact that he has his son's back like that.
Yeah.
And he'll tell his son how it is, too.
Yeah.
All I know is they definitely don't want Mama Sonia getting in there because then everybody's fucked. Mama Sonia will fuck you
Yeah,
up.
we should wear some big game.
Oh, dude, they don't fuck with Mama Sonia.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. When I was working for Nelson's because they were good friends with the Stew family, and there was talk that we were going to go down there to the Stewart compound at one point,
Sick.
and they were talking about how like.
How hard was your dick when they told you this?
Oh, dude, I was.
I mean, just
stoked.
fucking, just
yeah.
poking,
I was stoked. And this is
poking.
like 2009, so like when Stu was still Stu.
Ooh.
And there was a comment about
Exciting
like cussing, and all I heard is that like Big James isn't really a fan of it, but like if Sonia hears you cussing, you will get your ass reamed. I was like, oh fuck, I don't want that.
Well, as he says 2 cuss words.
I was
Exactly.
just saying, I guess if
I
I,
was
go,
like, shit.
I guess
damn it.
That's really interesting though, because that just tells how those boys were raised. You wouldn't,
Yeah.
in a motocross world, there's a lot of cussing that goes around, and that, to the Stewart family and all the shit that they've probably been through and had
Oh, yeah.
said to
Yeah,
them.
I mean,
yeah.
we could. Well, yeah. Well, have you seen the? And this is the last thing. Then we got to bounce off. Have you ever seen that famous clip of them at Southwick when Malcolm's still a kid, and Sonia and Malcolm are standing in a corner at the
And then
wick?
the kid flipping James
And,
off.
no. And there's
Oh, Edward.
and I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Like this is back when like Stu. I think this was either 05 his rookie year or 04 before he bumped up.
No, I think it was 06,
Okay.
07.
So either way, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, either
As
way,
Malcolm is right there and Sonia is.
Well, that fan probably had no idea who they were.
It's just like the same thing with the French thing. Well, it's different, obviously.
with
but,
Marv.
But like with Marv, where that one guy was talking all like, "Oh yeah, go back." It's like, fuck you, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
there's a difference here. The guy with Marv,
I'm not
I
putting-
would just be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Look,
the
I'm not
guy
putting-
with,
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy with
I'm-
that would not walk out of there.
Yeah, I'm not putting, but it's the same thing that the shit that they went through. People just don't realize the stuff that family had to go through coming up.
I mean, literally at Redbud, if I were to see that somewhere with
I'd
Stu
walk up and
racing,
rip it down.
oh, dude,
There was a guy
I wouldn't
that-
be allowed back in Redbud because
There was
it
a
would be
guy
game over.
There was a guy that in 03 was doing that, and he got the shit kicked out.
I
of him.
wasn't there in 03.
But
so.
there was a guy talking
That-
shit.
so
and
that
there
was not me.
There was this big old dude standing behind him, and he was talking shit. I don't even think this guy was a Stu fan. He was just fucking common sense. And he told him, he's like, "Hey, dude, like, calm the fuck down. You realize this is a kid. You got to figure Stu was 17 at the time."
Yeah.
And the guy just kept talking shit. Dude turned around, just popped him right in the
Cocked him.
face. So yeah, no. Look, I feel bad for Mookie. It sucks. He was
Yeah.
almost there again, but I don't know if he can win a race. I just don't.
That,
but
that would
I
have been
I
the
don't
perfect opportunity.
I
man.
don't think you're crazy though, man. I do. I think there's something to that. I think Mookie he's not your body type for the nuts and berries and whatever the hell's on their program.
No.
I mean, I said salmon, but they probably do eat salmon. But still, get Mookie a steak. Alden, let
Get him
Mookie have a steak.
Look, man, let him eat a baked potato every now and then.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up our 450 class wrap up.